What if the life you're searching for is already here, hidden beneath your thoughts? Eckhart Tolle, Practicing the Power of Now, full book summary. Every video I create is a spark, a gentle nudge toward awakening. If you feel the call to walk this path beside me, consider subscribing now. With one simple click, you help this frequency ripple outward and reach others seeking light. Before we dive in, if you'd like to explore Eckhart Tolle's Practicing the Power of Now in its original essence, including guided practices and deeper meditations, you'll find a link in the description to the full book. Your support keeps this message alive, helping us share more transformative teachings that awaken presence and peace. Introduction. There's a voice inside your head, always narrating, always doubting, always running. But what if I told you that voice isn't you? What if your true self lives in the space between those thoughts, in the stillness you've been too busy to notice? Eckhart Tolle's Practicing the Power of Now isn't just a book. It's a lifeline for souls drowning in the noise of the modern world. It teaches not through loud answers, but through quiet awareness. And today, in an era where speed replaces stillness and screens replace sunsets, we need this teaching more than ever. This book doesn't demand belief, it invites experience. And it whispers a truth so simple, it's almost unbelievable. Freedom doesn't come from changing your life. It comes from fully entering the moment you're already in. So in this video, we'll walk together through 12 core insights from the book. Each one is a door into presence. Each one, a practice to pull you out of the storm of thinking and back into the peaceful now. Let's begin. You are not your mind. You think thousands of thoughts each day, but who is the one observing them? Eckhart Tolle reminds us that your mind is just a tool like a hammer, useful when needed, but dangerous when left swinging wildly. Most people, he says, are trapped inside their own mental chatter, mistaking their thoughts for their identity. Think about the last time you were anxious. Was it your true self feeling fear, or your mind spinning stories about the future? The next time your thoughts become loud, pause and silently ask, who is watching this thought? That simple awareness, the observer, is the beginning of your liberation. Presence is the portal. The present moment is not just a slice of time. It is the only time that ever truly exists. Tolle calls presence the key to spiritual awakening. Every time you leave the now, whether into regret or worry, you disconnect from life itself. Practicing presence is not a concept. It's a state of being. Washing dishes. You can either rush through it, lost in thoughts, or feel the warm water, the weight of the plate, the sound of the bubbles. One is mechanical, the other is divine. Choose one daily activity to do completely present. No phone, no future, just this moment and your breath. The pain body, emotional echoes of the past. The pain body is Eckhart's term for the accumulation of old emotional pain. It lives inside you like a dormant creature, and when triggered, it takes over. You feel reactive, overwhelmed, like a storm has possessed your heart. But it's not personal, it's energy, and it can dissolve when brought into the light of awareness. A loved one criticizes you. You lash out, not because of their words, but because a childhood wound gets reawakened. When strong emotion arises, don't suppress it. Don't act it out, just watch, name it, breathe, say silently, this is pain body energy, I am not this. That gap breaks the pattern. Surrender, the path to inner peace. Surrender isn't giving up. It's giving in to the truth of the present moment. We suffer when we resist what is. We think this shouldn't be happening, but reality doesn't care about our opinion. Resistance creates tension. Surrender releases it. It's not passivity, it's powerful acceptance. You miss a flight. You panic, curse, stress, or you accept. You take a breath. You look around and notice a beautiful sunset through the airport window, a moment you'd have missed otherwise. Next time life doesn't go as planned, whisper to yourself, I surrender to what is. Feel how your body softens. Feel how peace returns. Watch the thinker. Eckhart Tolle teaches that the first step toward awakening is becoming the watcher of your thoughts. You don't need to stop thinking. That would be another mental effort. Instead, you step back and observe the mind like you would watch clouds in the sky. When you realize, I am not these thoughts, I am the one who sees them, a crack forms in the illusion. And through that crack, light enters. You catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough. But instead of believing it, you notice it like a bird flying past. You don't chase it. You don't fight it. You just watch. Set a reminder 3 times a day. When it rings, pause for 60 seconds. Observe your thoughts like a silent witness. Don't judge, don't fix, just notice. Time is a mental illusion. Clock time is practical, but psychological time is poison. Tolle explains that most of us live trapped in either the past or the future. We replay memories. We worry about outcomes, but life doesn't happen in those places. It happens now. The mind creates time as a way to stay in control, but the present moment is timeless, and that's where your power lives. You're sitting in traffic, stressed because you're late, but the stress doesn't change the red light. It only pulls you out of presence. Meanwhile, life, the sky, the breeze, your breath is still happening. Say aloud during stressful moments, right now, this is what is. Let that mantra return you from the mind's timeline back into now. Inner body awareness. Tolle offers a simple doorway to presence. Feel your body from within, not just the outer skin, but the aliveness inside your hands, chest, legs. He calls this the inner body, and says it anchors you in the now more powerfully than thought ever could. When you bring your attention into the body, the mind quiets, the ego shrinks, and you return to life's natural rhythm. You're in a stressful conversation. Instead of reacting, you shift focus into your breath, into the energy in your hands. The situation remains, but your presence changes everything. Before sleep, lie still. Close your eyes, feel the inside of your feet, then your legs, your belly, your chest. Stay with the sensation, not the thought. It's like meditating without words. Silence is sacred. Words point to truth, but silence is truth's home. Tolle reminds us that in moments of deep presence, words become unnecessary. Silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means everything that matters is happening beneath the noise. Most people fear silence. It feels like emptiness. But once you enter it, you discover peace, joy, presence, the divine. You walk in nature without headphones. No podcasts, no calls, just wind in the trees. Suddenly, the world feels alive again. Not louder, but deeper. Begin each morning with 3 minutes of silence. No music, no to-do list, just sit, breathe, listen. Let the silence teach you. Ego, the false self. The ego isn't your enemy, but it is your illusion. Eckhart Tolle describes ego as the voice in your head that says, I am what I own, I am what they think of me, I am better, I am worse. It constantly seeks validation or superiority. It lives in comparison. It thrives on separation. But your true self doesn't need to be someone. It simply is. Silent, still, enough. You post something on social media and anxiously check for likes. The ego craves approval. But notice, the moment before you checked, were you lacking anything? When you feel the urge to prove, impress, or defend, pause. Ask, who is seeking this? The answer will always be ego. Smile gently, return to presence. Acceptance versus suffering. Suffering begins when we argue with reality. Tolle teaches that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. It comes from mentally saying no to what is. Even small resistances, traffic, rain, delays, create tension in the body and mind. Acceptance doesn't mean liking everything. It means allowing everything. It's the difference between being caught in a storm and watching it pass through you. Your partner says something harsh. Your instinct is to defend, but instead you breathe. You feel the sting and you allow it. No story, no blame, just the raw experience. Throughout your day, notice how often you say this shouldn't be happening. Each time, try replacing it with this is happening. Feel the difference in your body. Death and the end of the ego. Death terrifies the ego because it means the end of identity. But for the soul, death is only a return. Tolle urges us to confront death consciously, not with fear, but with presence. Every time we let go of attachment, of mental story, of the need to be someone, we practice a little death and open a little more to life. You lose your job, the ego screams, "Who am I without this title?" But beneath the fear, there's space, possibility, a chance to rediscover your being, not your doing. Reflect on impermanence. Close your eyes and imagine letting go of all roles, your name, your status, your plans. Feel what remains. That presence is eternal. Being the light of the world. Eckhart closes with a radiant truth. Presence is contagious. When you awaken, even a little, you become a light for others. You don't need to preach. You don't need to teach. Just be. Your peace becomes a doorway. Your silence becomes a mirror. And your presence becomes permission for others to come home to themselves. You're in a heated meeting. Instead of reacting, you stay calm, grounded. People feel it even if they don't say it. Your stillness shifts the room. Make a vow. Today, I will be the space where peace lives. Carry that intention in your breath. Let it move through your words, your gaze, your walk. You've just walked through a doorway, not into a different life, but into the same life seen with different eyes. Eckhart Tolle's practicing the power of now isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about peeling back everything that's not you, the noise, the roles, the false urgency, until only truth remains. And that truth is quiet, simple, alive. You are not your past. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness watching it all. And that awareness right now, as you listen, is your doorway to peace. It doesn't matter where you've been, what you've lost, or what you fear. The moment you enter the now, you begin again, and again, and again. So here are your final invitations. Breathe consciously. Every breath is a return. Welcome silence. It's not emptiness, it's presence. Drop the story. You don't need to fix your life to feel peace. Be the light, not by doing more, but by being deeply here. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more presence, and that starts with you. Every video I create is a spark of remembrance. If you felt even a flicker of truth in these words, I invite you, subscribe, stay connected, and let's continue this journey inward together. If this message stirred something inside you, if you're ready to go deeper into Eckhart Tolle's Practicing the Power of Now, click the link in the description to get your own copy of the book. Every purchase through that link supports this channel and helps us spread more timeless teachings of peace, presence, and spiritual awakening. Take a deep breath. Feel your body. Click the link below and begin your journey into the now. And finally, thank you so much for watching, truly. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to like, comment with your thoughts or experience, and subscribe to stay in touch. Your presence matters. Your energy helps this message reach others. Until next time, stay present.